Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
I'm home, honey.
This morning, I am heartbroken. We have worked so hard to try and bring something interesting to the community and to the city of Edmonton. And in the past 4 or 5 months, we've had not one, not two, but 3 break and enters into our property. Regardless of the fact that we've had bars on the windows and a security system, these people don't care. And the last time, they completely blew out my side doors and stole over $10,000 worth of product. I'm gutted. And I've really had a rough night. I had a rough couple days. I was thinking, you know, this is my dream. This is what I want to do. This is what I've been hoping to spend my time doing, to have fun and provide an interesting experience for the city and for the people. And when things like that happen, it tears you down. And it tore me down. It tore me down to a point where I considered whether I should reopen again. It tore me down to a spot where I thought, what's the point? So today I'm at the store and I'm picking up the pieces. I'm literally sweeping up glass, repairing broken showcases, and trying to put the pieces back together once more. Part of the problem is I want this to be a friendly place that kids are invited in and feel happy coming to. And I don't want to have to put roller shutters on a heritage building. And now that it's a heritage building, there's certain things that I can and can't do to maintain the property so it has the authentic look. So it leaves me a bit limited in terms of what I can do. So I'm going to have to come up with some very creative solutions to ramp up the security. But when people are willing to basically take out your entire door, things are getting bad. But I'm going to try and put that behind me today, and I'm going to try and move forward and look at how I can clean the shop up and essentially get ready for the day. And, you know, these situations can either break you, change you, I think, or make you stronger. And in this sense, it didn't break me, but sadly, I think it did change me a bit. And I hope that I can recover and get the store back into good condition and make it a fantastic place people visit still. But I feel like I've lost a little bit of empathy, and I definitely don't feel as secure as I did before. So now I have to take that control back and take that power back and look at ways that I can improve the security in this building and not let them win and not let them take that from me. So that's what I'm going to do. Today I start reaching out to contractors, and we are going to try and find ways to basically beautify and fortify the space at the same time. That said though, I've got a lot of stuff to put away. I had been out on a pick with my son the other day, and we ended up buying some stuff. So I actually have legitimate work to do around here too, putting out new stuff. So I'm going to get to that.
1, 2, 3.
And you even came wearing your Curiosity Inc. sweatshirt too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I appreciate, you know, it was very kind of you. When we got broken into, Bob volunteered to sit out front and watch the store at night, which I would never ask of you. That's too big of an ask, but that was a very kind thing you to offer.
Well, you know, I live 20 minutes away. I would do that every day of the week if you asked, just so that this stops occurring.
Well, I think we've got some other plans. We're going to do some fortifications around here, but Bob, it really cheers me up to see friends like you come through. So you're going to have to hang out and visit for a bit. You don't work today, do you?
I don't work today. I thought today I'm going to go and support a friend and just little encouragement and yeah, hang out at my favorite antique store.
Well, it's much appreciated. So we'll spend some time hanging out. And I am just I got most of the boxes put away that were over here from these old Disney prints and mid-century modern bits of art, like sort of home decor from that period. I'm just about cleaned up, and other than a few little knickknacks and stuff that have to go away, I think we're ready for the day. And now this guy shows up.
I needed to see a man about a can.
Yeah, if you can't recognize him underneath all that gear, that's Josh. So yeah, he's doing a video here at the shop too. I am unloading. Look, it's peanut butter cups. I'm going through some of the other stuff that I found the other day and just trying to get it all sorted. I actually had a fellow call me already. He wants a picture. It's the thing, you show these videos and then people watch them and say, hey, that's really cool. If I can find the photo I'm talking about. This picture of the SS Oregon, which sank shortly after and apparently is a shipwreck now. His grandfather had sailed on it to Alaska in 1896. So there is a family history there of being on the Oregon, and who knows? Well, this is in 1900, it says. The Oregon off, 1900, in Seattle. All those people piling on there. So we'll see if we can get that off to a home, like that gentleman has, so that it can live again with a history of its family. People who actually had sailed on it. It's a neat piece to have. And I have this Buffalo Parks Pass, which those are always popular. They sell every time I get them in. I had a lot of postcards come in too. Okay, so Josh came in for that. And I guess if you want an explanation of why Josh needed a chock full of nuts coffee can, you're gonna have to go to your channel, right, Josh?
Sure.
Yeah, and how are they gonna find that? What's it under?
My name, Joshua Alexander.
Oh, good name.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, well, thanks for the can.
Yeah, no problem. As I'm going through some of these boxes, and this one has lots of postcards in it, and it's pretty fun to go through a box of postcards because you find out a bit of your history. And we have early pictures of Edmonton, my hometown here, going way back to eras when it's horse-drawn. This is dirt roads, probably turn of the century, a little bit earlier. To spots, when they're first putting up our legislature and getting that all done, and our high level bridge. So for me, it's kind of neat to find local pieces. Was not expecting to find this. This what looks like a little token or almost a coin is a Han Dynasty good luck charm. It's Chinese, and Han Dynasty was from just before, it's roughly 200 AD to about 200 BC. So this is an old piece to find in a box of postcards. This would have been a charm that would have given you luck to have maybe a boy in the family. So the ideal Asian family would have been looking for 7 children, if you can believe it. It's a big family. Of which 4 or 5 would be boys and the rest in girls. So they would have wanted this to have good luck, to have lots of boys in their family to carry on their tradition and name. Really interesting piece, but they made a lot of them. So they're not particularly uncommon. You can see some in museums, but they are available for sale and for purchase. Really interesting piece to find though. So I am having some fun digging today, and I've been meeting with some contractors to talk about fortifying my building, and I think I've come up with a solution to get that done. I'm going to hire Macaulay Culkin to just, Home Alone this whole place and set up, buckets of tars and put nails out and bear traps and whatever. They will never come back if they've been home alone. Okay, we got Todd is here, Todd the Eagle Man, and Bob's hanging out still. And you ever seen one of these before?
No, can't say that I have.
If you were the sheriff of the milk department, this is actually a milkman's badge. 1921, laitier being French for dairy. So this could be maybe from Montreal or Quebec or something. It does say ON, which is usually Ontario, but really neat piece. You imagine if you were delivering milk, you had to wear a badge?
That'd be cool.
Somehow I don't feel like it's the same nowadays. They don't give you a badge for this. I mean, you kind of do security to building now, and you don't have a badge, do you?
No, they don't give me anything. I'm on my own there.
We should start wearing this, and maybe people bring you milkshakes or something.
I'll take that.
But that was a cool little find. And the other thing that was neat, where'd it go? This tiny little itsy bitsy German clock. I mean, look, if you had it hanging on a wall, you'd think that was full size. But this is just a really beautiful miniature mechanical wind-up clock. And there was even like a little tiny grandfather clock too. It's a little bit newer because it said West Germany on it. That'd be after the war, where this one is just Germany. But it's got a little pendulum on it, the whole thing. Really, really neat things. Still fun to go out and find stuff, and that's what surprises me. You never know what somebody's got sitting in their basement. But now I'm going through some records, and I have tons of records in the back as it is right now, and I always continue to buy records because there's a demand for it. But in this case, we have a whole bunch of jazz albums from the 50s and 60s, and some, album covers that maybe are from movies, things like that, like music from the Valley of the Dolls. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? That was a crazy movie, if you've ever seen that before. And here's a Sophia Loren. But there's also a lot of good early jazz, like Miles Davis and, Pinocchio and his jazz music. Well, that's not jazz. That's another one of those fun sort of covers, like Planet of the Apes. But they're still in the plastic. I don't think this one has been open, but it's still in all the original cello. So those are really fun. But then you get Jackie Davis, there's Sam Cooke, Dave Brubeck. It's hard to find jazz, blues, and early rock albums. And that's part of the reason why I bought this collection, because I really don't come across them that often. Truth be told, I used to collect jazz albums myself. But aside from the records, I got a whole pile of magazines too, which were equally cool. And I'll show you what those are. Check out this cool stack of music magazines. Now, these go back to the 1950s, and this is when rock and roll was really first taking root. In fact, you can see that Elvis Presley isn't even on a rock and roll magazine. He's on the Country Song Roundup. And it wasn't until later on that they started to actually, go on different magazine covers like this, Hit Parader. But you didn't see rock and roll being used to describe the music at that time. Who's on the cover? Gene Vincent. That's early rockabilly stuff. So you couldn't tell, are they country? Are they rock and roll? They didn't know, but people were loving it. And you kind of see the latest song hits. Blue Suede Shoes is right up there. So this is early in Elvis's career. Now, magazines like this are fairly collectible because people want to have these great covers and have something from that time frame so they can kind of, put them in a picture frame or display them. And to get something as early as this really speaks to the early roots of rock and roll. So it's really fun to see and fun to read what was going on at that time. And you can see Elvis Presley making a lot of covers really in his first or second year playing music. But the handsome guy, why not, right? Really, really fun finds. And yeah, you can go through and read all the little stories, see what was happening, see what was on the top of the charts. Look, this is 1956, August of 56. And of course, Learn to Play the Chet Atkins Way being advertised in there. Chet Atkins in a familiar pose, laughing with his guitar as the money rolls in from people paying $3 to learn how to play the Chet Atkins Way. But lots of fun reading. I'm sure it's going to take me a while to go through all these and see exactly what is in here. But cool find for today anyway. Now, I will have to get some individual sleeves for these albums because you can't just put a price tag on it. That'd be crazy town. But I am going to go through some of these records and see what I have. And I was looking at the condition. Aside from a little bit of dust, these things are like brand new. And the lady that I got these from had them stored in her basement for over 40 years. She said a friend asked her to hang on to them 40 years ago, and she kept them all that time until finally he said, I don't need them back. But I was pretty pleased to find some early Stan Getz in here as well. He's an icon in the jazz industry, and this album features a very famous song that some of you might have heard on a lot of movies too, The Girl from Ipanema. That's where this appeared. So look, top jazz tenor, Brazil's great young singer, and the most exciting album of the year. It was a great album, and you know what? When I was collecting jazz records, this was one of my favorites. This, Mose Allison, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, some great stuff. So I'm going to have fun going through this myself, but I have to remember I can't take this stuff home as much as I want to. I've got to stay focused on sales right now. And boy, you know, as much as I'd like to take some of this stuff back, have to be good. I was joking about home aloneing the place and trying to set booby traps so people don't break in again. Maybe this album will do the trick. I'll just let it go on repeat the whole time. Sounds to make you shiver, so when they break in the doors, they'll hear people screaming and vampires. And they'll be like, yoinks, let's get out of here. And their little feet will make a dust cloud as they take off in the other direction. All kidding aside, though, that stuff's got to stop. I don't think that's going to be my security system. We're going to have to look at a little bit more serious measures than that. But still a cool find. Well, that's it for me today. Another day. And hopefully tomorrow's a little bit better. I mean, you keep pressing forward and you keep moving on and you keep hoping that you can get past these things. This last break and enter, I don't know, affected me more than I thought it would. But I am going to try and push forward. We're going to build up. We're going to make it stronger and better than before. And I'm going to keep going out there and having fun and finding cool things. But for now, it's time to go home.